Hello and welcome to Sport This Morning. I'm Cecilia Omogbe. Coming up on the program, Team Delta extends the lead at the top of the table. 83 gold medals now. That's what they have, 44 silver and 16 bronze medals. So in all, they have more than 200 medals. Of course, Edo followed closely, and Team Bayelsa is third on the table. Okay, also on the program, yes, to talk about what happened late last night. That is the high jump game where Mike Edwards was in action, but he wasn't the guy who won because another person, that we didn't expect, talking about David, he leaps to gold in a time in a jump of 2.15 meters, and he ended up winning gold medal for Team Delta State. And Mike Edwards finished third, while Cyprian Oyedele of Lagos had a personal best of 2.15 meters also, but then he won bronze medal for Lagos State. Okay, let's get the show started on this morning, and of course, it's all about the National Sports Festival. That's where we're starting from in Benin City, where Team Delta is actually doing everything they can to ensure that they win they retain the title that they won in 2018. But first, we're starting with the track and field event that went down on Sunday, specifically with most of those big athletes competing on that day, and of course having some of these big athletes also having their personal best in most of the events they competed in. I will not be doing the show alone. Blessing is right here with me. Blessing, how are you doing?
I'm fine, Sissy. Good morning to you.
It's good to have you.
Great to be here as well.
Yeah, okay. So we'll be doing a comprehensive review of what went down yesterday, and of course a preview of some of the games that will go down today, and also some of the track events that will also go down. We know that most of the finals will be decided today in track and field, from the 200 meters women and men's final to the long jump final, and of course to the relays and the mixed relays. All the finals will be decided today, and the gold medal match of football and the bronze medal games will also be decided today. The basketball finals also decided today. Handball is a whole lot, so a whole lot of activities will be going down on day 11 of the National Sports Festival right here in Benin City. But first of all, we'll start up with what went down just on Sunday. So many activities happened all through the weekend, but we'll start with, of course, athletics, where you have Imaobong Insen, the 400 meters.
Yeah.
At 2018 National Sports Festival, we didn't know there was someone like that until she won a gold medal. With Yinka Ajaya Hedat, because of her, Yinka had to retire from 400 meters and all that. Yeah, it's just a joke among journalists anyway. But then at the end of the day, she came here, running against Patience Okocha. When I saw Patience in Benin, I'm like, Patience is going to run, okay, that means Insen will need to be afraid. But she just had a lot of confidence and blazed through, and she won the medal.
And really, when you see someone like Patience Okocha on the the start list, you're thinking, okay, maybe this could just be all about her. But it's also proves why it was so surprising, really, that Inse had to come all the way. I was really surprised with that race. She gave it her whole. She basically took that out of Patience's hand, and really, I feel like it's a good one for her, really, because you look at the progression, which at the end of the day, could really help her career totally. But I love the fact that we're beginning to see some new faces in this. These things, like you said, is not someone that we expected. So it's really good that she's coming up the round in this kind of competition. So it means that all eyes will be on her going forward, and then you'll be looking forward to what it is that she has to offer, what more that she has inside of her that she's ready to give. So I'm really happy about that.
Yeah, happy for her because at a very young age, she said her reason for coming here is to try and see if she can, make the Olympics and all that. She's qualified for the World Junior, and we know that she's obviously going to go for the All-African Games and all that, but then the Olympics, that's what she's waiting for. But if you look at an athlete like this at this young age, talking about going to the Olympics, and you're like 400 meters, we know how hard, how difficult it can be when you're having a race like this. But that confidence level that she showed from the beginning of the race through to the end, at the time Patience was leading, and the way she was able to hold on, like, where is the confidence coming from at this particular age?
It's a valid question, really, because at the very young age, you have that confidence that you expect from somebody who has all of the experience in the world. She's inexperienced, but if you can't do it at this stage, if you cannot begin to give your all at this stage, where else would you be giving your all? So that's why I said I'm really impressed with the way she came into the race and showed that this one, this might just be it for me, might just be the stage for me. And now, like you said, all of the athletes, majority of them, they have their sights set on the Olympics qualification, which is really good for her. This is one tournament under her belt. belts now. Talk about maybe the bit of preparation that she needs, maybe a jump start really to get her into that, the qualifying, bit for the Olympics. That right there, she has it already. So I love that really. It's I mean, very, very emotional. Yeah. Was really, really good. I sat behind the crowd and I saw how they were cheering, shouting, screaming, because everyone thought it was all about Patience Okonjo at that point. But hey, I mean, someone totally new just came up and stole it out of our hands.
Yeah, and Cross River, we're already counting these as part of their gold. Patience is around, so they're going to get another gold.
Talk about the upsets.
But that's it. But they didn't know that. Well, Akwa Ibom were definitely going to
have something up their sleeves.
And I love the fact that she's still running for Akwa Ibom. And I actually asked her that question. She was like, they're doing me very well and all that, so why would I want to change? Well, I hope she's going to continue like
she's
that.
Still young anyway.
Yeah, of course, she's still young. And when the money starts, maybe she just wants to like, okay, well, let's listen to how she had to say after winning that race.
Very happy, but I was a bit nervous because of, anticipation. I've not run with her before. I was scared, but I just built confidence that anything is possible. Everything is possible with God. So I was scared though, but I just had to build that confidence that I can still make it. Running a personal best makes me very happy and excited. I'm looking forward to meeting the Olympics qualifier before the Olympics, so that I'll be able to compete for Nigeria.
Okay, that's talking about. She's just talking about what she had to do. I know that to be able to win the race, and the fact that she had to, run with, Patience Okonjo. And when you're running with Patience Okonjo, you just need that confidence. You just need to build it up, and you just need to ensure that yes, you can. Yes, she's of course your role model, but somehow you need to know that you have to be at your best. And of course, she was at her best. And right now, she is another champion. Just gold medals back to back, 2018 in Abuja and 2021 in Edo State. That's Edo 2020 anyway. Okay, let's leave out quickly touch down on, well, Okezie Chidi. I didn't see that coming also. I mean, it was just like surprise for everyone. I mean, we know Okezie, yes, he has attended so many international meets and all that. And the last time he won a medal was 2018 national trials in every national championship, but at the sports festival, no, he's never qualified for the final in the 2018 and all that. But this time around, somehow he head on and just having a personal best, 45 points.
I wasn't totally surprised about Chidi Okezie coming up, because I remember seeing him at the African Games in Morocco. Although it was also mixed performance at there, but you could see that he had it coming. He had something inside, and it was just a matter. It's been coming all along, just a matter of time, and then it would show forth. Same with Emmanuel Ojeli as well. So it was one of the things that made it really interesting for me, and I'm really happy that he was able to come through despite the fact that he had a very strong competitor in Emmanuel Ojeli there. But for me, I think what I'll pick up most is the bronze medal that went to Sikiru Adewale, of course, for obvious reasons.
I know.
It's representing Oyo State for obvious reasons, really. And the reason why I picked that out is because I mean, you're competing against Chidi Okezie, you're competing against Emmanuel Ojeli. You're still able to push all the way. I think at some point it was leading the race before the quality of Ojeli and Okezie had to show forth. So, and for him to be able to hold on that bronze medal for me, really, I think I really commend that.
Yeah, it was remarkable because, if you check the way he stayed with the pack, he did not lose up. Like, it was with them.
Exactly.
The last day was with them.
Exactly.
It was at the time he
pushing them all through to the very end. So it was a very good race. It was a very good race. A race that brought out the excitement in the crowd, really.
Yeah, it was really, because it was faster. That's what I expected, in the women's 100 meters and all that. I didn't see that because, there's so many things that went down. That's
so much.
So many things went down. But this guy, he ran a good race. And of course, a worthy winner, you will say. Let's listen to Emmanuel Ojeli there from Lagos article, kind of celebrates with him. And of course, your guy, he also had to go celebrate with him. Let's listen to him after winning that gold medal for Delta State.
Makes me feel happy. Just, like you said, a very tight field. So coming into the meet, I knew it's anybody's race. Ojeli, Samson, Shakari, it was so many, but we all just had to fight. And I told them, we running hard, big things coming in the future. Well, I just hit a new PB today, so first 400 since 2019, can't complain. Season's best, personal best, every day ran faster, so maybe the next time I run 44.
All right, let's talk about other race of the day. Talking about yes, 800. Before we go to the 800 meters, that was quite interesting. Also, we'll quickly talk about the high jump. Yes, I mean the crowd. I didn't know people were going to wait late into that race. That jump finished at about almost 9.
Yeah, almost 9 p.m.
9 p.m. I mean late. That the good thing is that a good light at the Samuel Media Stadium. So that's a good thing about that particular stadium. Now it started at 2 and we saw it was stopped, rain started, and we thought maybe they would not finish, they were going to go over to the next day, but it wasn't to be. That's it right there. You know, Cyprian thought he has had it because the first jump in the 2 meters mark, I mean, he had a very good one.
You could see the excitement on his face there.
He was excited, thinking, okay, this is it.
Something else was coming.
Something else was coming. They didn't know it was going to have a comeback, of course, with the guy who won, David Aya from Delta State. And this guy actually finished a second ahead, behind Mike at the, in Asaba and all that. And also, not even that, at the
MOC Grand Prix, yes. 2 weeks ago in Lagos at Yabatek, he came up short against Mike Edwards.
And this time around, he needs to train harder. If he trains harder, he will definitely want to win this. And Mike Edwards, of course, 2.1 meters, and the one he missed. I mean,
that moment was very. But for me, for that race, for that high jump, rather, I mean, just before, there were questions about the postponement, and it took Mike Edwards himself to, to insist that, allow us to go ahead. I mean, they've trained, they've warmed up. Mentally, they had gotten themselves to that level that they were ready to jump, and then to talk about postponement. So you can imagine what that would do for an athlete. And I'm really happy that they decided to allow that go on. Although we didn't have much fans, later on. I didn't think we had much fans like we did before things were postponed. It would have even brought much more spectacle. But the little we had yesterday was absolutely brilliant. Team Delta always roaring behind their athletes wherever you see them. I mean, they were so boisterous with the noise and all of that. And then Mike particularly. I recall he was talking about how the other athletes pushed him, and he talked about how he knows that coming to Lagos he can always expect that competition, the quality of competition. That's what the likes of Cyprian and David Aya brought. And David Aya himself almost couldn't catch his breath after that jump, and he was like, this man beat me just 2 weeks ago, and it shows the difference that 2 weeks can make in the sport. 2 weeks ago it was all about Mike Edwards, and here it was a different ball game entirely. That for me was the highlight of whatever event that we had yesterday, especially with athletics.
Yeah, it was the highlight of the event. Went straight into the ninth, and everyone had to stay till the end of that jump. Let's listen to David Aya. Of course, he's excited about it, and for Mike Edwards, they need to continue building and see how he can get Olympic qualification.
First, I'll say it's God. 2, from the beginning, I had no pressure. I never look, even though you're a superstar, I don't even care. We are all one, so we make everything together. We're all one. So I don't take you big. I take at everybody's the same stage. Even though you are the best in the world, I look you as the same with me. So no intimidation. After the MOC Grand Prix at Lagos, Yabatek, because it was there, it beat me. I took second with 2:10, equaling my personal best then. He did a 2:15. So I had to go back home, put some work, so I will make the All-African Games standard and make the World Junior standard. So I came back to win and also not to beat anyone. So I came for the gold. I made the African Games. The African Games is 2:12. Then the World Junior is 2:16. So I'm 0.01 meters away from the World Junior standard.
I'm not going to talk about the catastrophes that happened. All I'm going to say is that the competition was amazing. The young guys really proved themselves, and they stepped up. They pushed me. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do what I'm capable of doing, but honestly, it's a step in the right direction. Last week I jumped 2:15, struggled a bit more. Today I had a bit more rhythm, but I was still mistiming the jumps that I wanted. But it's a good step in the right direction. Each meet, I'm seeing improvements. Still want to get back over into the 20s range and beyond, but 2:15 back to back, it shows that there's somewhat consistency, and I'm hoping I can build off that eventually. Yeah, I mean, this is all great for psychological development. You know, this right here now is something like, you know, I've never really experienced before. You know, tunnel vision, you know, I got to focus. You know, I was down in this competition, first time I've been down. So, you know, I had to fight back. You know, it's all a mental, you know, mental state. So I love that type of thing about high jump. You know, yeah, you can never be satisfied.
All right, I mean, that's all about him. We're talking about Mike Edwards and all that. He loved the competition, he loves what went down, and he understands what it means for, well, technical or organizers to say, I mean, those in charge of those jump and all that, telling you that, look, you can't do what you want to do and all. But somehow he was able to just allow all the athletes to compete, especially being at that mental state at that particular time, because you know it has to happen. Well, at the end of the day, he didn't win the gold he had wanted to win, but he got bronze medal and he needs to work harder so you can make Olympic ticket. And the reason why Mike is so popular, you all know that BB Niger, right? That's the reason he's so popular. I believe you would want to go back to the days where he wasn't really so known. Then he could focus. But the pressure right now is so much that anytime he's competing, everyone wants him to win. That's where he is right now. So when he gets to lose, well, he's more like grabbing the headline, not even the winner.
Really. And I love the confidence from David Aya when he was talking about, you know, I don't care if you're a superstar or whatever, whenever we're on the pitch, we're level, we're competing. I think that's the kind of mindset you want to take into that game, because if you have beaten yourself even before the, you know, the high jump comes up, hey, what are you going to offer? So I'm really impressed about that. I'm happy about the confidence that David Aya has in this.
Super Dele was one that shocked me. I mean, the last sport festival, he got 2.10 meters. That's what he got. So he got silver. And this time around, well, he got the bronze. This time around, upgraded to silver. So a good one for Team Lagos. Okay, let's go back to Akwa Ibom, because he got another gold on Sunday also. That was in the 800 meters men final. Edidiom Udo, yes, he was the guy of the moment. The way he started the race, the way he finished. You know, they tell you that when you're running race, you know, after the quarter mile and another from 800, you start slow. But hey, he didn't. He started, and of course that's how he continued.
That was the strategy. And the strategy worked for him at the end of the day. Because imagine if you're tired at somewhere along the race.
From the beginning.
But really, I have to question what exactly is Akwa Ibom doing with this particular race. Look at the Inse as well, you know, with the women's angle, and you know this coming up as well. I think it's actually very huge. I mean, the strategy he chose worked out for him at the end of the day, and he was able to, you know, secure good in this one. So, you know, congratulations to Team Akwa Ibom for this. I'm really impressed and happy with the way the race panned out eventually. But maybe we'll get to see more from Akwa Ibom in terms of, you know, the other final events that we have coming up later on.
Okay, maybe we'll get to see more from them. As you mentioned, just look at him there. Just head on. I mean, he just didn't look back. He just continued on and on and on until he got that medal he so much wanted. And when he got to the finish line, yes, it was all about him. And everyone was calling him
there was a nickname that he had. I'm trying to remember as well.
That nickname that he had at that time and all, that name they were all calling him. Just talking about the way he started and all. I think it was just a nice race for him anyway. He head on and just had to
maybe pretty comfortable as well. Very comfortable. Very comfortable race for him.
From the beginning till the end, and immediately he finished. I mean, I could see the doping control guy just waiting for him. I'm like,
you need to get right away.
I'm like, this guy should relax. It was even hard. It was a struggle to even get his interview at that particular time. It's just 1 minute of interview and all that. I said, okay, just 1 minute, not more than that. It was, you know, taken away immediately and all that, because the energy he had from the beginning till the finish.
It was huge. It was huge.
And for Akwa Ibom, I mean, they were not much, but you could hear, you know, the sound, the noise they were making and all, just cheering on and on.
Especially with his nickname. I mean, we're just calling that nickname, you know, sounding out from the stands.
Like social prefect or something really,
really funny.
Director of social something really funny. But at the end of the day, he got his gold medal and he was excited about it. Let's, you know, hear from him.
Yeah, I know that this one was for me. In the last edition, Sudia Majan, that was my tough opponent. But when I came here, he said it's not running. So during the heat, they told us the best four in each heat to qualify to the next. So I just have to jog the first one, just to qualify to the final. The finals was the main show. So I came back to do what I'm good at doing. So that's just...
A quick touchdown on the relays where you have Team Delta dominated the women. Of course, you have Team Edo and Team Lagos. They are all in the finals of the relay. I mean, the finals is going to be today. I'm talking about the 4x100 meters relay final, 4x400 meters relay final, the mixed relay finals, the 200 meters long jump, and the 200 meters finals. It's going to be a whole lot of finals today, and everyone is actually looking forward to the relays, especially with the way Team Edo the heat. I mean, the third heat, Team Edo, they ran as if they were running the finals. Team Lagos did the same thing in heat 2, and I'm like, these guys should understand that.
Maybe that should show you. Maybe that should give you an indication of what we expect in the final. And, you know, of course, it's something we want. We want something that's clearly contested, not someone gapping, kissing out and all of that. So yeah, I think it shows what we're going to expect. We're going to be a very, very good final. Really.
And we saw the gap starting from Team Edo used their top athletes in the heat, but Team Lagos didn't, and Team Delta.
It means they have something
Team Lagos, so you have to because I didn't see Emmanuel and the likes and all that. I didn't see Emmanuel, I didn't see Jerry Japa, running for Team Lagos.
The reason why I said it shows what's going to come up today. I mean, imagine if you have these guys, all of them, in that relay team. It's going to be very, very huge.
I can't wait. Yeah, is it going to be Team Edo, Delta, or Lagos? Usually between them. But maybe Rivers just bring up surprise.
Well, maybe, and of course, consider that Team Edo and their crowd, Team Delta and the fans as well. It's really going to be huge.
You're leaving out Lagos, right?
well, I don't know. Well, I won't totally leave out Lagos because, of course, they have the the potential is there. But I'm just looking at the kind of support and crowd that Lagos, Delta and Edo State have. That could also count in their support at the end of the day.
Yeah, I get that. I don't understand what that means and all that. We'll see what's going to happen in it and see if those top athletes who are supposed to lead their team will live up to the billing, because in the 100 meters everyone was expecting Team Delta to actually win because of Cherisha and all that. But somehow I just wasn't to pick for him. Shakiri wasn't even on the podium at all. That's how bad it was for Team Delta. So relays is here. I'm also looking forward to the Miss Relay, men and women. I can't wait for that this evening. Okay, now talk football. Another final we're expecting today. The third place match is already on, but we know that the final for the women is about starting at 10 a.m. at Uniben Sports Complex, Lagos and Edo. And then for the men, Lagos and Edo. And you're asking yourself, well, FCT, the defending champions of the men, they're not even here. They couldn't get here because Lagos had to ensure that they would not reach the final. So Team Lagos and Team Edo, that's a competitive game we're looking forward to.
Competitive game really for football. Finals of men's final and women's final. Really, really competitive. And, like I said, the crowd as well for Team Edo. And Lagos, I mean, they've proven that they're very, very good, especially with football. I saw the Lagos women's team play yesterday, and, I saw how they dispatched that, their opponent there was almost very easy. That was a thrashing, really. And so maybe you could expect another thrashing today. Maybe it will be a close call. But, of course, it's going to be a very, very good final to watch out.
Yeah, it's going to be great because it could have been 7 even, because there was some questionable calls from referees.
And there may be mixed chances as well.
Yeah, mixed chances also. Lagos team, it could have been more than that. But Edo had a very difficult game because they played Delta in the semi-final. So it was Cynthia Morgan who gave them the lone goal. And, of course, that was all they needed to get to the final. We heard the deputy governor, the LOC chairman, know that Finisher was talking about the fact that, hey, their eyes is definitely on the gold medal game. Their eyes on the gold, so they want to win gold, and both Lagos will have a lot to say about that. Let's get reactions from the game between Lagos and Imo.
First of all, I'm very happy for myself, my team, and my state. We are going to take it step by step. We've been doing it right from the beginning of the game. Take every match the way it comes to you. So the final is going to be a success, as every match has been a success. That's the prayer for everybody. So I believe with God, all things are possible.
This is what we have trained for and dreamed for, and we are doing it for our state.
Gold medal match. So how is it going to be?
It's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. I think the tensions are down now that we're in the final, but we won't take it for granted. Both the girls and the men, we won't take it for granted. Our eyes is on the ball, and our eyes is on that gold, and that is what we want to achieve.
But your eyes were not on the ball in that miss, for the final moment.
Once those guys wouldn't want you to score. So it's a game of luck, and it's also a game of flexibility. So he was more flexible. I give it to him.
Talking about eyes not on the ball and everything, a game of luck in the semi-finals. Edo beating Imo 3-1 in the final, in the semi-final of the football event, where the final is all set 4 p.m. at Uniben Sports Complex, Ugbo. That's where it will be taking place, 4 p.m. at that time. And at that time, too, we know that a lot of track finals also.
So, I mean, we really can't divide ourselves into places, but of course, pick way. But I'm wondering if the deputy governor will be, fighting out for Team Edo in this final later today.
I don't think so.
Maybe not from the beginning, but of course. But of course, people know that it's going to be a part of that. Of course, that will make them to want to come and watch as well.
Yeah, I think so too. When he came on as a sub and everything, you expect, okay, should have gotten the goal or not. This was the first penalty call that the Team Imo were not not really happy about with that particular call. It was a handball. We saw it, but somehow they just assumed that, well, it wasn't. But Edo stepped up and they got their first goal. Then the second, and of course, Imo tried to get into the game.
Sorry,
but somehow
it was too late.
It was too late for them. And then Team Edo and Team Lagos will be playing the gold medal match at 4 p.m. at today. Okay, that's a wrap from here in Lagos Edo studio. Of course, we'll be going straight to Lagos for Yemi Adebayo to wrap up what's going on across the world as well. We know the NBA is there, results from the English Premier League and some other sporting activities across the world. But before that, let's just take a look at what the medal table is looking like. This was as at 8 p.m.
yesterday.
Yesterday, that's before the long jump.
Yeah, before the high jump.
High jump, before the high jump took place. And there you have it. You have Delta with 83 gold medals.
That's massive.
That's massive.
A total of 207. I mean, dominating all the sports you can think of.
That's it. So still waiting for wrestling. That's where Bayelsa might just come to us. But no matter how many medals they win in wrestling.
Well, wrestling started yesterday and it will continue today as well.
So no matter how, it won't get that close. Of course, we still have the track events and the field events also taking place today and all. I'll see if some of these states can come close. But from all indication, outside the bronze medal, that's where Edo and Delta are kind of close.
Yeah.
But in all other aspects, the distance is there already, 83 and 67. That's the whole lot.
This might just be Delta's
Where is
title.
your state? I'm looking for it.
I also is somewhere there around 9th on the table.
Yes.
About
not bad. Top 10.
Yeah,
it's okay.
It's great.
It's good. Yeah.
I mean, by the time you add all the medals that you've gotten together, you're going to progress into top 5 maybe.
Yeah, and I learned that Oyo is actually bidding for the next.
Yes, indeed, and that will be huge because work has started up with the stadium back home. That's the Lagos Salami Stadium, Adama Simba, and it'll be very, very huge. You have the National Sports Festival in Ibadan.
Okay.
Absolutely brilliant. I'm looking forward to that, really.
Blessing. Oh, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thanks for having me here this morning, Sisi.